Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bringing Up Baby podcast. My name is Ashley Cooley, and we took a little hiatus there over the summer, but we're back with more episodes coming every couple of weeks, we hope. And today we're starting it out with a great one. Jess Clerke is back. She and I did an episode together called Finding Confidence in Pregnancy. This was episode 84. So you may want to go back and check that out, especially if you're pregnant. Jess got a really cool story and always a great way of looking at things. And now she has a little one. She has an almost 8-month-old. So I thought it was time to have her back and catch up and see where she's at with confidence in motherhood. So just in case you haven't caught the episode yet, back at episode 84 with her before, Jess is a confidence coach and the host of the Selfish Confidence podcast. She has a passion to encourage women to speak their truth and to live a truly aligned life, even if it's unconventional. Through her own self-discovery journey with her year of confidence, she was able to find her confidence after a difficult season and learn how to speak her truth despite societal pressures. And she is here to help you do the same. So welcome back, Jess. Here's our conversation about motherhood, parenthood, bringing up a baby when you're an entrepreneur, the learnings that she's had, the things she knows she still has to learn. Here's our conversation. So when we last talked, Jess, you were preparing for motherhood. So how does the reality compare to what you expected when it comes to confidence?
Oh gosh, isn't that a funny question, Ashley?
Isn't it though?
Oh, isn't it? Isn't it? It's so wild because I was so naive about pregnancy, right? Got pregnant and I was sick for the whole thing from start to finish. And I was
Mm.
just so naive in the sense that I thought it was gonna be easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, right? Like it's gonna be so great. Glowy, dewy, wonderful pregnancy. And it wasn't the case. I do think walking into parenthood, it's been a little different in the sense where it's like I had a good understanding. I stutter on that a little bit because it's
Well,
like I had knew
friends
some
that
things.
have kids and yeah.
All of my friends have kids. I am the first, like the only one to really just do it later in life, to do it at 35, where everybody else is on multiples. Like my best friend just had her fourth the other day, right? And so it's
Mm.
been a journey to watch them go through it. And then, so for it to be my turn, I had a little bit of an understanding, but I will say the confidence aspect, you get a little shook every
Mm.
week, only from the standpoint of like, I thought I had it figured out. And you're like, I got this. They're sleeping. Everything's wonderful. And then, like, a week later, you're like, what the F just happened? Like, I have no idea. And it's been that roller coaster. And I also think the world doesn't tell us enough that it gets harder every week. They
Mm.
tell you that after you get out the newborn trenches, I don't even know why they call them that, that you are going to be like feeling great, getting sleep, everything's gonna be wonderful. And from there on, it's gonna be easy. That's at least like where I thought. And
Yeah.
that has not been my story. The newborn trenches were just like wonderful and beautiful and glorious. And I know for someone listening, that's not everybody's story, 100%. But for me, he was a snuggle little bug. I could
Mm-hmm.
work. Like I was literally working in the hospital bed. Like I just thought like, wow, like I am a superwoman. This is so great. And well, once the adrenaline wears off, then you realize it's not the case. I remember you messaging me actually and being like, I don't know how you're doing all this. And I'm like, I don't know either, but it's working. It has progressively gotten harder to do things and to get work done and to
Mm.
find balance in my life because he's moving, he's eating, he's doing all these things. Whereas when he was a newborn, like it just felt easier. Like,
He could sleep on your chest while you're like checking an email or doing
yeah.
something.
It was
Yeah.
like I'd have like
Yeah.
him in one arm and like my laptop on the other. And it was just like sweet and easy. And you're like watching reality TV and you're just enjoying a season. The only thing I really struggled with was switching into the mode of mom and away from business because I never really understood, like, I don't know how to have both or that you could take a break and it be okay. Because I came
Mm.
out and I was like a month, like not even a month in. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. I'm like, wait a second. Like, I set up a maternity leave for my business for a reason. Like, it took me really a month to figure out how to turn off and take a break. So that was
Mm.
one thing when it came to my confidence that I really struggled with was even just figuring out how to do both and if I wanted to do both anymore and like what that looked like and all of those pieces was a really interesting transition for me. But it took me a good month to like actually put my laptop away and be like, it's okay. You don't have to
Yeah.
also get things done.
Because it's one thing if you, okay, maybe I have the time, maybe the baby is napping, or I have a partner that can take the baby for a little bit. And just because you have the time doesn't necessarily mean you should use it for that. But I could totally, I would be in the same boat. I mean, when I had my third daughter, I was an entrepreneur. And so those quote unquote maternity leaves are not really. So I can remember the same thing is in the early days, it was a lot easier to get some things done while she just left on me and I could just respond to someone. But then now they're staying awake a little longer. And now, like, they're waking up more at night or it's just different and they're mobile. So yeah, ebbs and flows. That's for sure.
Yeah, somebody told me that sleep was like a heartbeat. Like sometimes it's going to be up and sometimes it's going to be down. And I've just kind of held on to that. Every night I say a little prayer and I say, please, God, let this baby sleep. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We don't know what we're
Yeah.
going to get, but I don't appreciate the unpredictability of everything. Like everything, you
Yeah.
don't know. You don't know anything.
Yeah. You don't know anything. You think you know, but you have no
Yeah.
idea.
Like, is he gonna sleep? Is he gonna eat this? Is he gonna poop right the second we're leaving the house? Like, you don't know anything.
So would you say that's been your biggest challenge to your confidence as a new mom so far is the not knowing, not being able to predict what's going on, or you get
Mhm.
used to something and then it changes again?
Yeah, I would say so. And I don't think there has been like a set anything. Like we don't have a set sleep schedule. We don't have a set nap schedule. We don't have a set eating. Like there's no set schedule at this point. So I should also add my son is 7.5 months old for anybody listening. So we're
Mm,
just kind of in this like phase of, yeah, he's eating now and yeah, like he sleeps a bit, but like there's no real rhyme or reason to it. We don't have like a perfect time that he wakes up every day. We don't have a perfect time that he goes to bed every day. Like we just are figuring it out day by day. I will
mm.
also add he's a pretty great baby, as all babies are. All babies are good babies, right? But like he's pretty chill. You can take him places. He enjoys watching. He loves to like just be a part of it. He loves eating. Like he'll eat anything except the peas that I gave him tonight. He wasn't really a fan of. But you know what? Like
I get it, bud.
I
I
get
get
it,
it.
right? So, but like he's a pretty easygoing baby, as long as you snuggle him and you give him some cool toys. Like he's pretty cool. So I do know that I lucked out in that sense. And Ashley, I know you and I were talking about this before we hit record, but like it's a gamble. Like you don't know what kind of baby you're gonna get. You don't know if they're cute or not. We talked about that in the last pod. Like, what if we get an ugly baby? I didn't. He's great, but you just don't know, and it is really difficult.
Yeah. And I mean, all that not knowing just keeps happening. Like it's
Mhm.
just, I mean, we much like we don't know what's going on in our own lives half the time, but
It's true.
we have to be able to respond to it. And it's so it definitely keeps us on our toes. Yeah.
And I've talked so much. I know we've done a couple podcast episodes too that we've talked about like knowing yourself is where your confidence comes from. Like, so when
Yeah.
you become a new version of you, you have to get to know yourself just the same as you're getting to know your partner, you're getting to know your best friend, like you're getting to know your pets, like you're getting to know people. You ask them questions, you figure them out, and then you learn like their favorite birthday cakes and things like that. You have to
Uh,
do that with yourself, but like, if every day is unpredictable, it's really difficult to feel confident in it because you just don't know.
hmm.
You know,
What have you learned about yourself so far? Or like what has changed if you've noticed anything from like I thought I would be like this or doing this, but I'm actually doing something else. Has there been anything like that so far?
it's been a lot actually. So I feel even really emotional as you ask that question because I'm still figuring it out. Again, we're only
Sure.
7.5 months
Yes.
into it. It hasn't even been a
Yeah.
full year,
Yeah.
but what I thought I would really want to be doing and what I thought I could be doing isn't even what I want to do anymore. Somebody listened to that's like, Jess, that doesn't even make sense, but it does. You just kind of like everything
Your
changed.
priorities have shifted. Yeah.
I remember I went into an appointment at like, I don't know, 6 weeks postpartum or something. And the person asked me, they said, like, what's more important to you, Jess? Like, empowering your son, this beautiful baby you just had, or empowering, hundreds, thousands of women in the world. And I really didn't know the answer because for me, it was very much 50-50. I was like, I just met this thing.
Mm.
Like, I love
Mhm.
my son, but it did take me some time to develop that relationship and really fall in love with his personality and who he is in the beginning. And my husband said the same thing. We just didn't necessarily have that like instant, like he is everything, he is my world. We didn't
Mhm.
have that from the
Mhm.
beginning. So when she asked that question, I was like, I know I'm supposed to say him, but I don't know. My answer is really 50-50 because if I could
Mm.
empower one woman to live her most authentic life and her, beautiful motherhood journey or whatever it is she's following in her life, then that's going to create a ripple effect into her children, into her, partner, and into like it can create a massive ripple effect, but not at the sacrifice of my son not having
Mm.
his best mother either. So it's been a real interesting journey of learning how to balance both and making sure that he's number one, he's the priority, but that I also have enough energy for myself and for all these women who I connect with on a daily basis because they're really important too. Like I want them to feel
Mm.
empowered and to thrive. And so finding that juggle lately has been
Mhm.
difficult. More difficult, I
Mhm.
think, than I anticipated.
I don't know if you intended it to sound this way, so I'm going to ask. But because it does sound like whatever that question was for you, like it's an either or, like we have to
Mm-hmm.
choose. And I totally get that we can have it all, but just not all at the same time. Like we can't do everything 100% how we want to. Like when we're
Mm-hmm.
working, we're distracted by kids. When we're with kids, we're distracted by work a little. So we do get all of that, but I just want to say that I feel like your son will be empowered and thrive because you are doing that, what you're passionate about for other people. That's been something that I found I've had to learn definitely over the years as well, becoming a parent, because I found when my kids were a lot younger and I was an entrepreneur, I still do look forward to work, but I was like, I gotta get out of the house, guys. See you later. And it was like, I'm finally doing something for myself and talking to other adults. And then there came a point where I just started feeling really guilty and bad because they would actually get upset when I left. I'm
Oh,
home around all the time. So it's like, why are you leaving? Where are you going without me? And so I'd be like, oh, like I wish I could be there with them and spend this time with them all the time. But then I end up missing out on that stuff for me. And that stuff for me makes me a good person,
mm.
makes me a good mom, which I hope and think it trickles down to them. So anyway, it's,
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it too. It's just
yeah,
like figuring out that balance of it, right?
yeah.
And trying to like when I'm with like this is one that I've really been trying to work on lately because I don't know about you, the internet is addicting and it's like you're
Mm,
just scrolling and like you're feeding your baby and you're scrolling or your baby's in the bathtub and you're scrolling. You're just like, why am I doing this? But you're just addicted to it, right? Because sometimes you just have time on your hands and that's what we do. And I've just been really trying to be like, when I'm with him, I'm present with him. And as
mm,
much as I can be, right? Because
mm-hmm,
obviously
mm-hmm,
it's not perfect. And when I'm with work, I'm present with work. Like even right now, like it's his bedtime, but like he's fine. His dad's with him. Like I have a really great partner. Like it makes a big difference to have that. Um,
mm,
but I do
mm,
sometimes have to psychologically in my head be like, oh, well, I don't have to do bedtime. I've been literally with him since he opened his eyes this morning. Like I don't have to be there. My husband is capable.
right, right.
And so that's been an interesting thing to figure out too. Like to be here when I'm here, like you said, like to not be so distracted is it's sometimes really hard.
Yes, yeah. On the flip side, so we've been talking about like some challenges around finding this confidence again, but what moment has f made you feel most confident in yourself as a mom so far? Have you had a moment or moments where you've been like, "Damn, I got this."
Honestly, it's so interesting. Like I really do feel like I rocked the newborn phase
Yeah,
where I know
nice.
not everybody does, but for us, like we just had a really great system and like we divided and conquered and it worked really well for us. We were getting a decent amount of sleep. Like he was a pretty chill baby overall. And so the newborn phase I loved. Like I really felt so confident. I'm like, man, like this is
Mm,
easy peasy lemon squeezy as much as it can be easy and you're
yeah,
recovering from delivery,
yeah.
but like all the things. But like it just like felt right. And then
Mm.
it's like progressively gotten more difficult. But lately too, with the solids, like my kid's an eater. Like, and mind you, like his parents are eaters. Like we like to eat. So I'm not 100% shocked, but for right now, I do feel like we're killing the solids game. Like
Nice.
he
Nice.
eats. That kid
Yeah.
is like, give me more. He's like,
Yeah.
more, more.
Yes, I love it.
So it's like
Yeah.
interesting to see like the things that, yeah, we are rocking at. I also remember too, you asked me early on, like, hey, have you gotten into any like mommy groups? And I was like, that's terrifying. Like, I can't imagine talking to strangers, bringing my baby in places where he's gonna like put everything in his mouth and like there being germs and like there's stuff going on. Lately, I've been going out. Even today, I went to the library by myself, like not even to meet someone, and just like talked with some moms and hung out with my baby and let him put Lego blocks in his mouth. And I was like, you know what? Like, I feel really good doing this. And
I love
it
that.
was like a little win, whereas 4 months ago I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. That's terrifying. To now where I'm like, okay, I'd rather you didn't put those blocks in your mouth, but like we're gonna win some, we're gonna lose some today. So fingers crossed, yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That no, I always found it's interesting you bring that up because I think that that's what often made me feel good. Like I'm a good parent today. Of like we got out of the house.
Hmm.
We're still all intact. We're able to get them to do an activity, like you said, like going to the library. So you got a little bit of maybe something for yourself, just even knowing that he's in a new space, maybe
Yeah.
making friends, keep him busy. That's a good point. I remember feeling similarly. So I'm glad you're venturing out now and feeling good about it. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I find
I
as
definitely,
probably as he gets older, do you find it, do you just
Mhm.
feel more confident in your ability to handle situations and plus, his ability to maybe handle a little bit of germs or something like
Yeah.
that? Like that
He's
helps?
a bit more predictable now in that sense. Whereas I found when he
Yeah.
was a bit younger, you didn't know if he was going to scream the whole time that you went
Yeah.
somewhere, or if you're like, yeah, or if you're gonna have to feed him, or like you didn't know his temperament. I do feel like now I know as long as he gets his nap, as long as he eats, we can get in the car and we can go somewhere and he is good. Whereas I didn't have that before, so I will say that's a bit more predictable. I can kind of like, even though I don't know what
Mm,
time he's gonna nap, if he does nap and then he eats, we're good for a couple hours. Like we could go and do something. We could go shopping. We could, and he's not gonna, good chance he's not gonna freak out.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that makes a big difference. So I
Yeah.
do feel like that. I also tell myself in my head a lot, which this might be helpful for some people, but not helpful for others. So if you're in the trenches, I see you, my sisters. I understand. Okay. But I do tell myself like it's my house is never going to be this quiet. I used to say that when I was pregnant and I was miserable because I was going to have a kid and he was going to scream and things. But now I know because all of my friends have multiples pretty much. Like again,
Mm-hmm.
one of my best friends just had her fourth, okay? So I
Mm-hmm.
understand chaos in the home. So I tell myself like my house is never going to be this quiet. It's never going to be this easy for me to just take one baby out. I'm sure you understand that with three, like trying to round up three and get them in the car and go places. So I
Mm-hmm.
just like almost shifted in my mind like, hey, this is easy. Like it's just one. It's just one. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I do think it comes from knowing so many people who have multiples that I know it's not easy after you have another one. So it's like, hey, I can handle one. Like
Mm.
he's a good baby. He's fed. He's had his nap. Like let's go. Instead
Yeah,
of
you
like
got your basics. Yeah.
yeah, instead of being stuck at home and then when I have my second, looking back and wishing I did it differently. Like I'm really trying to just be like, hey, I'm gonna do it this way now. And maybe still I'll have regrets, but like at least I'm trying to do it with a better mindset.
Yeah. I don't think you'll have regrets, Jess. Because like you said, you're doing your best to be present in the moments. And I think almost anyone when if they have more than one child, like it sometimes in a lot of ways it's easier because it's like, okay, I've fed a newborn before, or
Mm,
I've even if they might have different personalities and such. So there's a lot of confidence that comes from that. But then it's just the busyness and the whole shift in routine. And so
mhm,
I'm thinking maybe that's what you've experienced too, is just like how you're living your daily life is probably relatively new to you. And just like whether it's a person like him that you just met and we're hanging out all the time, or like the activities or things, routines that you're doing every day. Like it takes time just to be with that to get confidence. Like it's
Mhm.
so hard to have any confidence if we haven't done something before. No. Yeah. So now that
Definitely.
you're just about 8 months in, sort of, you're starting to see how capable he is, but also you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. I remember looking at moms before too, because again, you don't know until you've gone through it. And anybody who's listening to this podcast probably has kids or is about to go through it, and they're like, "Yeah, you don't know till you go through it."
Hmm.
But it's just kind of like blows your mind how much you can do th that you just didn't know you could do with little sleep, with nothing, like with sore
Yes.
nipples. Like you have no idea what you're capable of until you have a kid. Both physically from
Yeah.
the birth perspective, but also just like you have no sleep, but yet you're functioning. Like even one of the moms I met at the library today, she's like, I've been sleeping in 1 hour increments since my baby is born, and her baby is almost 6 months. She also has a toddler. And I was like, sister, my goodness. But like she was
Mm.
functioning, she was parenting so well, she was talking with her child. Like you just do it. And I remember like wondering how moms got it done. How do they do it all? And now that you just do it. Like it just doesn't make sense. You can't explain it. Even when you're exhausted, you're just there and you're present and you're doing your best.
Yeah. Yeah. Before I had kids, I thought like, I don't know, going to the market and maybe shopping with a friend would like make me tired. But now it's like I can do all that before it's 8 a.m. and I still have a full day to go. So it's
That's
crazy what
so
we can do.
wild.
It's crazy. Okay, so you've already kind of mentioned a little bit about mindset shifts. But are there any others or any tools that have helped you stay grounded and trust yourself? Because I know confidence can come a lot from having trust in our
Mhm.
own selves. So, again, you mentioned one mindset shift just recently of being like, "Hey, I can do this. Like this is happening." Has there been any other things that have helped you go through these last almost 8 months and finding that confidence?
I will say these last 8 months have been a blur, right? So
Mm,
sometimes you're like, I don't even know what I've done, but I have been trying to like build some kind of practice for myself. And I now also understand any of my clients who had kids before this, and I'd be like, you can do it. It'll take a few minutes. I'm like, F you, old Jess, like you don't know. But now I really try, even if it's at the end of the night, something that I can do that's putting my phone down and like if it's journaling or I like to pull cards. So like I have oracle cards that I'll pull just so that I can like have a little like message and a little prayer or something. And
mm-hmm.
even just taking a moment. My work actually helps me to stay grounded and helps me to feel good. Once I actually get in this space, like hanging out with you and talking on this mic, like I know I'm gonna feel energized when I go back upstairs. But sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's like getting there. That's the hard thing for
Yeah.
moms. It's like because you're so exhausted that you just scroll on your phone instead, or you're so exhausted you just put that Netflix show on. And you're just like, cool, I'm just gonna be here. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. I just need to veg for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. But I do
Mm-hmm.
find some kind of action, even if it's 10 minutes for me, makes me feel better. Stretch a little bit. Oh man, like breastfeeding, holy moly, like your upper body is just so tight all the time. So even just like going to the
Yes.
chiropractor, those little things for me have just proven to myself that I'm worth it. Even though I used to do it like 100 times more than I do it now, those little chunks still make a big difference. So that's been a mindset shift for me. And then also, even just like it has really healed my relationship with my own parents, right? In the sense where it's like you can understand things
Mm.
differently now. And I also try
Yes.
to reprogram some things in myself, like how can I mother myself? Like this, my relationship with my son is healing things that I didn't know were even issues, like or things that popped up where you're just like, oh, like I didn't even know that was a thing. And so it's just like
Mm.
seeing things and just acknowledging it. Like it's not even like I have to do anything about it. It's just like, oh, I recognize that that is different. Or like respecting your parents a little bit more because you're like, they're entrepreneurs too. And I can't even imagine what they were doing with my sister and me and also trying to run a business. It's like I have a different respect for them now too since becoming a
Mm.
parent. So it's like just an interesting thing of like healing your own parental wounds. And
Yeah.
obviously my kids are gonna have some kind of parental wound too, no matter how hard I try, but I'm trying to do them differently than how my parents did it too.
Yes, yeah. I've had many conversations like that on the podcast too before, and constantly think about it in my own world because it's like especially, and again, as they grow up, when they get to a point where they can like engage with you and talk with you, but then also have attitude and bring about some things that maybe you did or didn't do when you were a kid. And you see how like, oh, so and whether you just like knee jerk respond how maybe your parents did, and you're like, wait a second,
Mm.
is that how I want to do things? Like, and really, anyway, that's a whole other thing. I,
It's wild when you catch
it
yourself and you're like, "Oh
is.
my gosh."
Yeah, and like I sound like my mother, which isn't always a bad thing, but it's just like it brings up stuff and you're like, "Wow, maybe I should really think about this. Like what does my response actually mean? What is it doing?"
Hmm.
Like I can think about that. Anyway, I feel like
I
that's
sub
another episode, but
Yeah, I
yes.
know, right? I sometimes like
That's the
put
thing.
myself in like his shoes to think like he actually is looking at me like how I used to look at my parents, sometimes eyes glazed over, like I don't give an F what you say right now. Like I just want to go over and grab
Yeah.
that cat. Like you can't tell me no. And it's
Yeah.
like I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like I can just see it so differently on the other side." It's like somebody I'm responsible for someone and also like that someone loves me, obviously, but also sometimes doesn't give an F what I think. Like he wants to do what he wants to do. Like he's a baby. Like,
Yeah.
come on. So
Yeah.
it's interesting because then I was like, oh, I was that to my parents. Like, I'm so sorry.
That's gonna, I'm so sorry. I've said sorry to my parents many times in my adult life. Um, and so much like like literally my mom said to me one day when I was younger, like, "Oh, I can't wait for you to have a daughter, and then you will see what this is like." And as soon as my daughter was born and they said it's a girl, I was like, "Oh shit."
Oh no.
And you know what? I have to say, this is, and I'm referring to my oldest. It has been really interesting and a huge learning curve and learning experience parenting her and parenting all of them. But she is a lot like me. So while that can sort of make us, okay, if we're the same person, we could maybe butt heads a lot. But thankfully, I have such an understanding, I think, of where she's maybe at. And so I can go back to like, well, what would I have wanted from my parents or my whatever at the time? But it doesn't mean I have it all figured out, but it makes me think. It makes me ask that question. And I think that's the beauty of parenting in today's day and world. I know there's so much information and there's are a lot of hard things because we're all trying to do it all. But a lot of us, you included, you've already mentioned it, that we have this sense of like reparenting ourselves, thinking about how we want to do this for them, knowing what impacts can be there for them. So and you're still just at the very beginning, Jess, which is there's still so much to come from this, but you seem to have done such a lot of deep thinking and learning already in these short 8 months that have gone by. Do you feel that
I have
way?
a lot of time on my hands
Yeah.
to think. So, especially in the beginning when all you're doing is like feeding your baby sometimes for hours on end, like you got a lot of time to think. And
Mm.
it's just, yeah, interesting. And like I'm big into human design. I know we've talked about this before too. As I'm a projector, someone listening, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, Jess. I'm happy to explain it to you sometime. But like we like to watch, we like to reflect, we like to learn. And so I've just been trying to, I think, soak it all in. And my son is also the same. He's also a projector. So we're just like slow watchers watching the world. And my husband,
Cool.
is more like you, has that energy. He's like, can you guys speed up a little? Like, oh my gosh. So it's just been like, we just like take it all in. Like we're just slow reading books, hanging out. It's just been an interesting process to learn together. But I can't even imagine like a child with personality. I think of my nephews. One of them is about to turn 12, and I'm just like, I can't even imagine my son being 12. Like,
Yeah, well,
what? He's gonna have a
yes, that.
personality. He's gonna talk about things. Like, he's gonna have interests. Like, I don't even know what he's interested in. Like, my parents are like, what does he want for Christmas? I don't know. Like he doesn't like things right
A
now. Like
third
he's
boob? Like what?
yeah, like he's
Yeah.
yeah, he likes boobs. Can you give
He
him some
likes
of that? Like
boobs.
there's nothing that you could be like he likes snacks. Like I I
Yeah.
don't know what he likes. And so I do find that really interesting as they develop personality for you to be like, "Hey, I know what books my kids like to read and I know what sports they like to play." I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Wow." Like I can't even picture that life
But
yet.
that those parts are luckily like the fun parts because you know how I always say like, oh, you'll never get this time back. They're only young once. And there is a lot of bittersweetness to them growing up. But those are the sweet things, getting to learn their personality, getting to hang
Mhm.
out with them. Like I can hang out with my kids now and they're like, yeah, you're cool. Like this,
Do
it's
they
not
say
just,
that? Yeah, you're
well,
cool, or you're saying they're
oh
cool.
no. Yeah, no, they don't, they don't think well, I'll say my middle and my youngest think I'm pretty cool. But my oldest is, just starting to wonder what is happening. Okay, I have one more question for you, Jess. If
Give it to
you
me.
could tell your pregnant self
Oh
one thing
gosh.
about confidence in motherhood, what would it be?
Oh man, I am emotional thinking about this because I was miserable. Okay, I had the
Mm.
worst pregnancy.
And did that sort of like do you feel that kind of dampened maybe even in the beginning or something or
Mhm.
your vision of parenthood because you couldn't really enjoy the pregnancy? Did that have an effect on that too?
It didn't necessarily dampen the parent journey, but it dampened the pregnancy experience to the point where it's like
Yeah.
I just like I was planning events and I was doing a lot of things for work, like big things, and I just couldn't be present. Like my body and my mind were not
Yeah.
present for literally 9 months. And so sometimes you look back and I just feel like I was robbed of that time,
Mm.
especially that time with
Mm.
building a business before baby came.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody kept telling me like it's gonna be worth it, it's gonna be worth it. And I was just
Mm.
like, I'm gonna sock you in the face because I don't know if I even want this kid. Like, and again, side note, I
Yeah.
didn't want kids until I wanted kids, and it for people to say that I was like, I don't know if it's worth it. I'm on the other side, and it is very much worth it. His smile every day is like the greatest gift in the whole world. Like he's so sweet.
Mm. Mm.
So if I could tell my pregnant self one thing, I'd be like, you know what? They're not wrong. Like it's worth it. And you're gonna be great at it. Like that's just it.
Mm.
Which I feel emotional thinking about, but
Oh.
like it's like a really cool journey that you don't know until you experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Even birth,
Mm-hmm.
like you look back and I don't even remember it. And Glenn always goes, my husband, he's like, I remember.
Yes, he does.
Like I was there, I remember. But it's
Yeah.
like even the empowering experience. And I will say, if anyone is listening to this and they're pregnant and they're like, I am miserable, the second that baby came out, I felt like $1 million. And I think that's why I had such a great newborn phase because I literally felt like $1 million. I was like, drop me off at Costco. I'm going shopping. Like I was good to go.
That's
And
great.
I
That's
was like, I'll
great.
go get my own medications. Like I felt
Yeah.
just so good. I remember like eating that first meal. And I remember you talking about the first shower. For me, that wasn't the experience. It was the first meal. Like I was
Oh, the
like,
first meal. Yeah.
food. Oh man, it was
Yes.
so miraculous and it was hospital food, but it was like the best thing I ever ate in my entire life. So like yeah, I would tell my pregnant self like it's gonna be okay. You got this. Like it's fine.
Mm.
And
But
the
it
new
is so hard to like, even though you're hearing that from people who were there, but like you're still in that moment, in that day, you're like, I'm miserable.
yeah.
I can't think about anything else. Like that it would, yeah, it would definitely, and this, I'm thinking for you too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but where you spent a lot of your life not thinking you weren't going to have kids and not planning
Hmm.
to, and then you do decide with your partner, yes, we do want this, let's go for it, and then you get pregnant, and then it's kind of a, lack of a better term, a shitty pregnancy.
Yeah.
And then so did that make you feel like, oh shit, like what
Yeah.
did we do? And
Oh
then
yeah.
how that makes you feel even going forward. That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I it does also make me fearful for the next time, and I know every pregnancy is different. If we choose to do it again, I'm like my husband is on a strict diet because I heard it's the sperm that makes the placenta,
I
and
heard that too. Yes.
like you are on a strict diet. 'Cause I was so sick, and it could be a
Mm-hmm.
gender thing. It could be just me. I don't know, but I'm like we're not taking any chances. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna put in the work too. If I gotta put in the work, so. There's definitely going to be a little bit more
There'll be some changes next
preparation
time.
and planning on his part next time. Not that he's an unhealthy guy. He's actually really healthy, but like I'm
Yeah.
not taking any chances. You know, if I gotta grow this thing for 9 to 10 months, like, come on.
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
barfing for the whole time again. Like, it's just not
Yes.
gonna happen. I remember the doctor coming in, she's like, "Oh, are you the one that's still on diclexin?" And I was like, "Yes, I am. Get this
Oh,
baby out of me."
yes. Oh my gosh. And you went to full term, right? You were
Yeah, like
pregnant
39
for
and a
nine.
half, like, like,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, it was great.
Wow. It was great.
It was great.
Almost 9 months in, almost nine
Yeah,
months out. And like you said, it goes by in a flash, doesn't it?
yeah.
It's a blur, but a happy one.
It is such a blur. And yeah, being almost 8 months in, I'm like, what just happened? But like, we're in the Burr months, right? So like Halloween is coming, Thanksgiving's coming,
Mm.
like we have Christmas coming. Like I can just like picture like how much fun holidays are gonna be with a
They
little
so
one.
fun. And they only get more fun as they get
Hmm.
older. Oh my gosh, does he have a Halloween costume yet?
You know what? I've been looking. I've been looking. I got some ideas, but nothing's set in stone yet. So
Mm,
I also don't totally
that's
know
so
what
fun.
size he's gonna be because this kid is pretty big.
Yes,
He's a big
right.
guy. So he's like in like 12 to 18 month clothes now, and he's 7.5, 8 months, right? So I'm
Hmm.
like, what
Hmm.
size is it gonna be in October? I'm not totally sure yet.
Yeah.
So I feel
Play
like
it by
18
ear.
months should be safe, but you never know.
Yeah. And I mean, I say costume, it's like it's not like he's gonna be going knocking on doors, but it's just
I'm gonna
because you
take him on a
can.
few doors, but just like,
Yeah.
the neighbors, my sister-in-law, like just like a few people, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's
You
not
have
getting
to.
candy, obviously, but
Well, no, he will, but it's clearly for you. That's the beauty of that one.
you're like, I did the work. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't he look cute in his outfit? Pass over the candy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, Jess, this has been so wonderful to catch up. I always love catching up with you, but I've been always following along your journey as well with your confidence and your podcast and all that you've been sharing. But it was great to catch up since we last spoke on this show, because you were pregnant. Now we're almost 8 months into motherhood, and you are doing awesome. I don't know how you're doing it all, but I get people saying they say ask me that too. And I always just say like I'm not doing
I'm
it all.
definitely
Like
not.
I don't feel like I'm doing it all as good as I could be, but I can't wait for perfection. I don't have time for that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm definitely
So,
not doing it all. We are most days just hanging out in our pajamas, and that's cool.
and I
So,
love it. I
yeah,
love
it's
it.
actually pretty great. Like, can't complain about a good PJ day.
Very refreshing to chat with you, Jess, because you have such a great viewpoint on life, and you're just and maybe it's because this is your expertise in terms of like well, confidence, but just getting people to think about things differently, getting people to like reframe and like, hey, but you can do this. You do have this in you. So I love to see that you're pulling from that for yourself. So
Mm.
high
We
five,
always
girl.
joke that I have my glitter goggles on, like that I just
Oh
see things
yeah.
through this like glitter lens because like I'm very optimistic on absolutely everything. And even if you say something, I can try to find the spin on it for it to be more optimistic, regardless if you like it or not. You're gonna like slap me in the face. You're like, just let me be miserable. But I do often have my glitter goggles on, and that does make things look different. Even now, I could be like, yeah, pregnancy was wonderful. Best thing, best 9 months of my life,
Well,
right? You're like, okay, Jess, shut up.
but that is a good skill. That is a good skill because the brain can be trained and we should be
Hmm.
doing that. If we're thinking always in the negative or things, then it's easier to do that. So,
Yeah.
Jess, thanks so much for coming back on to chat with us and hope to see you and your little nugget again soon.
Oh, so soon. You're the best resource. I'm so grateful for you, Ashley.
Yeah, anytime. If you're looking for more information or support along your parenting journey, check out birthbabysleep.ca. That's where you're going to find prenatal classes, postpartum and new baby resources, and sleep support during the childhood years. Lastly, but certainly not least, if you got something out of this episode or our show in general, leaving a rating or a quick review goes a really long way to helping others find us. So please consider leaving one. That's all for now. I'm Ashley Cooley, and we'll see you back here next time.